Hi there everyone, thanks for tuning in. This week's topic is a question that my clients ask me all the time. How do you develop a really positive relationship to your voice? Now, the easiest thing to answer here is that we just get used to our voices, but sometimes that's not the best answer. The thing is that the voice that we hear inside our head as we're speaking, or even as we're thinking, because it's the only sound that we hear when we speak as individuals, we get used to that sound. However, the fact is that the sound that comes out of our mouth is the sound that everybody else hears. This is the same sound that you hear recorded on your phone, on a recording, on a webinar, whatever that might be. And the thing is that you cannot control this. You cannot control how your sound sounds outside of your own head and outside of what you're thinking and you think that you're hearing. The thing is that because the sounds are so different, it's a very jarring thing for us. Now, to be able to get over this, there are a couple of different things that you can do. One thing is just getting used to listening to your sound as is, so that you know what type of technical qualities that you can shift if you don't think that your voice is impactful enough. Make sure that there's a good reason though, not just because that you don't like it, because it's not going to be tactile enough for you to move along and learn how to like your voice. The goal is, how do you develop a positive relationship with your voice? A lot of us don't like the sound of our voices, and it's not something that's really easy to change, but if you're willing to work on it and you're willing to be gentle with yourself along the way, then it becomes a little bit easier. Now, thinking about this, how do you feel about your voice? Just take a moment right now to close your eyes and breathe, and let whatever thoughts come in and float into your mind to tell you, oh, I like my voice, I like this about my voice, or I really don't like that part. Oh, I cringe when I hear my voice. Oh, I just never want to hear it. I hate my voice. You know, there's all these different thoughts that can come in. So which one are yours? I'm just going to open my eyes now so that I'm coming back to you. With all these different thoughts, we need to start to filter out, are there any positive things about it, or am I only noticing the negative things? Like many things in life, we often can focus more on the negative and less on the positive. So can you find just 1, 2, or 3 things about your voice that you like? Perhaps it might be as simple as, oh, well, when I speak, people hear me. So it means that they do hear your voice, right? But also, when I speak, people seem to really engage with me. Okay, that's interesting. Very different than just saying that I don't like my voice. And also, it might be that you feel resonance inside your chest when you're speaking. You find that quite curious. That's also something that is interesting as well, and not necessarily negative. Resonance is actually a really good thing. Resonance is a really, really good thing, because resonance means that your sound is really sharing out into that space and the sound vibrations are coming out. And when you start to think about that, I can share my voice, and thinking about all these wonderful things that your voice can do, it's no longer just about how I feel about the quality of my voice, because with the technical qualities, things can always shift and you can always work on it. But your relationship to your voice is a lifetime of how do you use your voice in different ways. By changing just a couple of things, you might change the engagement, you might change the connection, you may even change your relationships. So if you become a little bit more curious, a little bit more interested in the things that your voice can do, that is a huge component to knowing how to shift your relationship to your own voice to become more positive. Do you have any other tips for me that you've been using to improve your voice? Because I'm always itching to hear how people work on their voices, in addition to how I teach them from some of the things that have worked for me as well. Now, one last thing I'd like to add here is that the more that you record your sound and the more that you listen to it, the more you get used to it. And slowly that judgment will stop if you're consciously working on it. And then you'll get used to that just being your sound. And once that starts to sound just like sound, then that is the optimal time to work on your voice so that you can start changing some of the qualities if you want. It doesn't mean that you have to, but there are different ways to do it to get more resonance, to get more pitch variance, to get more projection, to get more connectivity or emotionality into your voice. The ideas are endless on working on your voice. So if this inspires you to work on your voice but you don't know where to start, feel free to pop in for a consultation for me via this link here, and I would be happy to speak to you about your voice. Every voice is beautiful, but not everybody knows how to love their voice. I hope that everyone can learn to one day love their voice and use it in a way that helps them make the imprint that they want to make on this world, because the voice is such a wonderful thing. And I guess that's all for now today, but if you have any questions, feel free to join us on our Facebook online community group and pop them in there so the SLVC team and myself can answer that question and give you some tips and feedback. We're looking forward to seeing you there, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're interested in all things voice, accents, and communications, and we look forward to seeing you next. All right, see you then. Bye.